Greetings and welcome to Oakview on Video. We certainly miss having all of our visitors here at the park. We miss having our field trips and tours, but we decided to take this opportunity to bring to you some digital content that would showcase different artifacts and parts of our park's history, so you can still learn even from the comfort of your own home. And even if you visited us before, you might learn something new about something that you've overlooked or an aspect of the park that you didn't learn about yet. So today we have an artifact spotlight, and we're going to talk about a really important farm artifact, and that is the washboard. So the washboard I have here is called the 2-in-1 Junior. It was manufactured by the Carolina Washboard Company, and they were located right here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Now it's called the 2-in-1 because it's made out of two materials. You see the wooden frame, but the actual scrubbing part of the washboard is glass. And that you would want for the scrubbing part, that's where you would scrub the clothes on to break off all the dirt and to actually clean them. So you definitely want a really hard surface. Sometimes they're metal as well. But glass was popular, and it was actually also a popular material during World War II when there was a metal shortage. So those are the materials that it's made out of. Now, the way that laundry on the farm would work is that this was laundry with no electricity. So it was a day-long chore. It was backbreaking. It was really difficult. It would involve hauling buckets of water, heating them up over the fireplace, and then pouring them in the tub, either a wooden tub or a cast iron tub. And then, of course, using your washboard, scrubbing the clothes up and down and washing them that way. So very manual, taking a lot of muscle. Another thing that you would need for laundry would be soap. Now, for farms like Oakview, that even though we're not too far away from Raleigh today, Oakview was considered very rural. And so for rural areas, purchasing soap at a store was not really something that they would do. Either they were too far away from a store, or more likely it was just too expensive to purchase that. So they would make their own soap. They would make a special soap called lye soap, and lye soap is made out of two materials. It's made out of lard and also lye. And so the way that they would make this soap is that the lard would come from animals on the farm, either animal fat or leftover cooking grease. And then to get the lye, they would use ashes. So those ashes would either come from the fireplace, or they would burn up old tree stumps and get the ashes that way. They would put the ashes into a bucket of water and soak for several hours, and then that liquid that comes from the ashes is what lye is. So then they would mix the lye and the lard together with a little bit of water, and they would heat it up over the fireplace for several hours. And when those two things mixed together and were heated thoroughly for a really long time, it would start to solidify. So then they would pour that mixture into pans and set it out, leave it to dry to solidify a little bit more. And then once it was solidified, it was ready to be soap. They could cut it up into bars or use shavings of it, and that's how they would make their own laundry soap. Now, they would use lye soap for laundry, but they would also use it for any other aspect that you would need soap for. So laundry, personal hygiene, washing the baby, everything. So making soap was also a really important farm chore. Doing laundry, like I said, it was a very difficult chore, and so was making soap. They were very manual, backbreaking, but since they were domestic chores, they were typically done by women on the farm. And so what that meant is that in the 1850s, this laundry work, soap making, would have been done by the enslaved women, Isabella and Eliza. But also continuing after the Civil War, when the tenant farming families were here at Oakview, they would have been doing laundry in much the same way because there was still no electricity here at Oakview. So still very manual, still using these artifacts as well. Another fun fact is that children on the farm didn't get out of work. Typically, the children, their chore was to collect up all the wood that would be used for either laundry or soap making as well. Well, I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about this important artifact, and be sure to tune in as we begin to showcase other parts of our park as well.